it's time to bring it down to the table and the here floor. It is showing the one of the best boot and shoes alas when it comes to reliability. These shoes have been in use over 50 years. They are one of the trademark of Salomon. And here is Salomon shoes. And the pretty prettiness of them all. Let's look at it, what kind of shoes they are. So these shoes have been served over 50 years. For years since 93. And that's really tell how good quality is. It's still keeping and they shape. Now let's take a look for the shape here. Yes, they have not lost of any of those characteristics what they have had on these times. They might be smell quite a bad inside because they have not been washed for all the time, but they still have a. But there we see. So the troubles in this kind of the shoes is how to use it and wear. How the material here is very right. Of course, it's already have a looking for pretty nasty and neat when it compares to the new material, but it still is pretty much a function as a normal shoe should. So it's still working as good. All people here is the very much the most thing usually is where is the bottom at two of the shoes, and here is I've used quite easy to spot. But it has gone through the here spot it. Let's do it. Here's a Salomon in the central middle of right this a shoe and boot. There are some marks and Salomon. There are rails. And you can pretty much see what kind of rails, what is the function of them. They're pretty much usually getting some small objects in particular like little stones and so on, and perhaps some small animals. A lot of sand, dust of use with dust and clay, and depending on what kind of condition. If you are going to desert, you can expect that through the small holes and gaps there in the bottom, there go inside these rails a lot of sands of usually. If you are going to snowy places, it will be wet and soak a lot. In the jungles, over the weather resistance at last this will keep over the weather out of from my feet, unless of course I will be cast that it will be a leak over to the here to upper part of the, so nothing inside to the this. And of course let's dig in how good leather material has been used. Alright, as I am always very money wise, a penny wise guy. Of course, usually I just purchase this boots by the salary, and obviously I will be now very happily second hand use somebody else to the ruby. But so far I have this boots, and so far I don't go some extreme condition like a heavy rain or some desert condition or somewhere it is what it be. But anyway, in the town, a suburban, and especially in the downtown, on the cities and towns, to be living in them, I would really doesn't need any kind of the condition. If I go to beach, they're pretty much fine if they're not the huge amount of the sand. And I mean, this kind of can keep it over 5 or 4 inches the wall of the sand, even it is thick, but it's still pretty much using as it should be. And there is not much to consideration to here as saying any bad words about these boots. They are working as they should, and that's what's the point. Poor case it is. Alright, as the Salomon is the one of the specific, have another a little bit more hiker needed to serve the hiker wall, perhaps more temperature variation, even colder, or the condition was more wetter. And here is a Switzerland, a Creberl. And those shoes are more designed to actually the winter use and the snowy places. If you all come into tourist city in the Sun Alps and just go and walk through the normal, but they are very much designed and to use in that kind of condition when you need a lot of temperature resistance, your shoes and keeping warm, and they obviously keep you. And once again, so maybe I'll use things here is a wrapper, and this kind of are much less wear. It is very easy spot that they have a lot bigger and the grips and rails here. This kind of the grips are still very much keeping holding their shape that they already were manufactured, and this has not been used that long, but 3 years in some heavy condition, even jungle and wear. So they have been a lot getting wet, and still they have get very well recovered, as you see. And I have been called the clay and mud, very muddy condition in the rainforest. In the rainforest, you can think how much the dirty in the all kind of the animals and the soil just taking over all over the walls. Obviously, I have been cleaned and but when I have very well using some kind of things, they very much taking over and not to getting dirt. That's the greatest things about this boots. So I can very happily say that they very well have keep their promises and to be very reliability. Once again, what I'm looking for, you don't need to really usually purchase a new couple pair of the shoes when you can keep the one very well working ones. And what are they? And these are very much of that kind of what I was here advertising. And that's what I'm happy to hear showing these boots which working as they should. And well, of course the technology behind of this kind of boots, how it is really working is different kind of the idea. And so here is some couple however a sample about of that thing. So walking with these shoes, they are very much giving you as the good grip into this plastic floor. And this plastic floor or a carpet, it's very much, they don't do much just because it's a black. Usually it can do some black mark it, but it doesn't mark at all. As you can see, if I rub it against it, it doesn't leave any mark here, which is very good because there are a lot and the cheap product which have a much more tolerance to leaving something, and the material here is much harder. It's much it's really captured what is have here, and that's what I really much giving good. Yeah, what are they? So here is the bottom. It's a brown. As you see, there is brown, and it's once again this leather material is absolutely very strong. It's very held. It's shape was already, and it doesn't wear at all. It doesn't wear. You just can wrap your feet against it and your socks and all. Your socks go like nothing. They are of course any cotton and any polyurethane socks. They don't have anything when it comes to their reliability. But then the leather material here, it's working as it should, and that's very absolutely fantastic. Feature of this boot, the shoes that they're keeping so well. So should I be making a videos of some clothes and all the other rest of the things? Would be quite a fancy to do so. And the clothes I'm wearing, I will be showing my pants on those small videos. What I will be like to perhaps to do it myself. And that's what I have to be find out that is it there any reason actually any good to do actually. So that's all. After rest of the day I will be myself have to make a decision. Alright, but here it is, the Salomon is already losing the lowest bottom but if it's just losing this, there is a different kind of the layer, it's coming out and you can actually wrap it out, but then you lose all the grip, so it will be like you might be, if you love to just walk like in ice, in even the normal asphalt or the normal the street, if you wrap it out there, just tear it out, you will just feel like that. You will be walking with this. There are of course all kinds of the boots different, but these two boots are absolutely devastatingly good, and especially this will be much more I will be giving. One of the things what are usually can happen here, when you walk alone, it usually, the problem is it cannot hold it very much. It never should actually flexible here. It should be kept its strength, because it taken here and that's stress different parts of this kind of the shoes. And the most and the wear and the stressy parts are the back and the front of them. And here is the front. Let's see what the front is here as strengthened. This kind of the front just absolutely cannot hold it as they should, and it might be somehow to veer away. And I'm not sure us in the front part. If for example I play football with this, or I kick some walls, or kick some asses, and you never know who you need to kick. You need to a lot strain and stress ability to contrast this. And this backside, another thing, you just have to keep it on the way how it should be. Otherwise it just doesn't work at all on the level what you might be also find. The same goes to the backside of this.